Okay, Memorial Day weekend flea market, May of 2019. We had two different flea markets we hit today and about 15 tag sales. And these are the results. We had quite a few items come up. Go over them one by one. We have here a civil defense, 1950s and 60s civil defense helmet. New York State in this case. Well, that's where it was found. Very good condition. I've been finding a few of these here and there, and I collect civil defense stuff, so we do have this, and then an album full of Victrola records, which is not uncommon for me to find. These ones are, oops, there we go, dropping stuff. And what I dropped is called, since I have it in my hand, a Savage 410er. Now what this is a device that allows you to turn any 12-gauge shotgun, well, break open 12-gauge shotgun, into a 410. Gives you options. You can use more than one kind of ammunition in your 12-gauge. There we go. And I have a set, which means they're good for a double barrel. Savage 410ers. I believe these are probably 1960s. And back to the Victrola album. And the usual type of Victrola era records. These are teens and 20s, mostly jazz, waltzes and stuff like that. Nice album too. And here we have a nice oil can. Never have enough of these, you know. And this one's not really rusty and bashed up. Pretty good shape. This is a Gilbert desk fan. The A.C. Gilbert Company, for those of you who are not familiar with them, was the originator of the Erector set. Over in Connecticut, or was it Mass? I think it was Connecticut. A.C. Gilbert. Sometimes they called him the man who saved Christmas due to the World War I metal drives cutting back on toy production, you know, for the war effort. He insisted in 1918 that there would be no Christmas if there were no toys. So he pushed the government to allow the manufacture of toys. They did, and there was a Christmas. But that is a Gilbert fan, 1920s vintage. And here we have a Victor Victrola 6, original condition. Even patina all around. Exhibition reproducer, has the crank, and it is in working condition, but will need the usual full service. And this one looks to date from the mid-teens. And of course, what's the Memorial Day flea market without finding flags? And I have found 4 flags today. All of the memorial flags. This one at least is folded. Most were dumped on top of tables and stuffed into milk cartons. People are so nice. But they've been rescued now. This is the dwell meter, for those of you who are unfamiliar with a dwell meter, and that's pretty much everybody who doesn't work on cars with points ignitions. This is for working on cars with points ignitions. There you go. And here we have a Kellogg wall phone, 1920s vintage, in beautiful condition. This is not something I collect, but the price was so good I could not pass it up. And it has extras. Somebody had converted it a long time ago, by the look of it, to use a dial, but it still has the magneto in it. Oh, somebody's calling. Nice Kellogg phone. That is quarter sawn oak, which you also find on Victrolas. These, just assorted bullets, 30-30, whatever, you know. Don't find a lot of ammunition these days at the flea markets, but this will come in handy. I do have a 30-30. That can use that. We have a GI blanket. Never have enough of those. Good quality government issue. These are a couple of Coase patent pipe wrenches. For those unfamiliar with the Coase patent pipe wrench, the Coase patent covers the ability to open and close the wrench with your thumb, one finger like that, while holding it with one hand. Coase was the first one to patent that. As you can see, there it is. And they come in all different sizes. There's 2 of them there. Nice condition, so I couldn't pass them up. An Edison gem. I believe this is gem. I'm a little rusty on my Edison phonographs, but I don't do a lot of them. But I'm pretty sure this is one of them. I know it's an Edison, but I don't know if it's gem or not. It appears to be all there. It needs a belt. Somebody was working on it, and they lost the crank. But, again, the price was good, so we went for it. Now I have 2 Edisons. This is a Westinghouse desk fan, larger size than the Gilbert. It has the articulating action. Westinghouse fans are highly collectible and usually pretty expensive. I saw two others today about the same size selling in the $220 to $240 price range. This one was $30 on the way out of a flea market. Some elderly lady with a table full of stuff had it on the corner. I said, ma'am, what do you want for the fan? She said, how about 40? Maybe 30? And I said, yeah, I think I can do that. It needs wires and such, but probably does work. For $30, I'll take the risk. Even if it's broken, I'll have it fixed. That is the horn for the Edison. Need to get a crane for it. A nice vintage Craftsman toolbox. This one, probably 1960s, maybe late 50s even. Nice condition. Inside we have an outers rifle cleaning kit for a few bucks. Always get those in. I picked up some nice screwdrivers, a few little clamps and little wrenches and some chemicals and such. Those were from a little shop, junk shop on the side of the road. Pipe rack. I'm a pipe smoker, so I have pipes. So now I have a pipe rack. Another one, I should say. Toolbox full of assorted tools. Pretty much all American-made tools. Some of them Craftsman. We have SK, Snap-on, Mac, Matco. There's everything mixed in there. Again, from a small junk shop. And a rusty old toolbox to hold them. They threw that in for free. This is a Chopper 1 axe. Made very popular in the 1970s and 80s. Chopper 1 is an excellent tool for chopping wood. You can see how this works. When you slam it down into the log, these little anvils come out and they blast the log apart. I spent the entire winter chopping wood with an identical axe like this. Now I have an extra one. Chopper 1, and it's an original. The company still manufactures them, and I got it for a fraction of what the retail price would be. And this, we have an arrow stapler, basically brand new. I always seem to lose these. I don't know how that happens, but so now I have an extra. Keep it around. We have some bookends, brass horse's head bookends, a couple CDs, and a bunch of young adult literature from the 1920s, Tom Swift in this case, and various titles. These are always interesting. I like to read them, and of course they're collectible too. See if there's a date in there. Tom Swift and the Land of Wonders. And when was that published? No publisher's date. 1917. A little older than the 20s, okay. 1917, during the war. We have a Victrola motor and some random Victrola parts from the same gentleman who sold me the Victrola. I can always use those. That's a 2-spring Victrola motor used in many Victrola machines. We have a photograph album containing blank pages, interesting photographs of old cars, which is why I bought it. Love old cars. Look at that. What is that? Can't read it. Oh well, super. I think it's a Pontiac, but we'll check it out later. Even a trolley car. I like that kind of stuff. Okay. And it wasn't expensive, which even appeals to me even more. I think we about covered it. Parts, flags, hats, helmets. It was a busy day. It was hot. It was tiring. It was humid. And, 2 big flea markets and a dozen little roadside tag sales. But we got some good stuff here. It was a productive day. And there you go.